what in the world is happening to Zach Bolduc? Remember that electric buzz, that surge of optimism that swept through the fan base when Zachary Bolduc first donned the Canadiens jersey? 3 goals, for points in 3 games. It felt like a dream start, a statement that the future had arrived. But now, just weeks later, are we watching that dream fade into a frustrating reality? Why is a player with so much promise, acquired at such a significant cost, suddenly struggling to find his footing and impact the score sheet? Tonight, we dive deep into the perplexing case of Zach Bolduc, dissecting his meteoric rise and his puzzling recent slump, and exploring what the future might hold for this talented young forward in Montreal. Let's rewind to the off-season of 2025, a period of palpable excitement for Canadiens faithful. The acquisition of Zachary Bolduc from the St. Louis Blues, in exchange for promising defenseman Logan Mailloux, was heralded as a shrewd move. Here was a second-year forward, fresh off a nearly 20-goal campaign in 2024-25, bringing a blend of skill, speed, and scoring touch that many believe would immediately bolster Montreal's offensive attack. Expectations, understandably, were sky high. Fans envisioned Bolduc slotting seamlessly into a top-6 role, providing secondary scoring and becoming a key cog in the Canadiens' evolving offensive machine. And for a glorious, albeit brief moment, it seemed those expectations were not just met, but exceeded with dazzling flair. Bolduc's initial foray into the Canadiens' lineup was nothing short of spectacular. He hit the ground running, or perhaps more accurately, skating with an intensity and effectiveness that immediately endeared him to the Montreal faithful. In his first 3 games, the 22-year-old phenom lit the lamp 3 times and added an assist, racking up 4 points. It was a dream start, a clear indication that the talent was there and the transition was seamless. But what fueled this immediate success? It wasn't just raw talent. It was also the role he was given. Head coach Martin St. Louis placed Bolduc squarely in the top 6 forward group, a position that offered ample ice time and significant offensive opportunities. Crucially, he was also integrated into Canadiens' primary power play unit. And let me tell you, Montreal's power play has been absolutely electrifying this season, a unit that has consistently found ways to generate high-danger chances and capitalize on them. Being a part of that potent group undoubtedly contributed to Bolduc's early offensive explosion, allowing him to showcase his offensive instincts and capitalize on the space and talent around him. The chemistry was undeniable. The puck seemed to find his stick, and the net seemed to grow wider every time he shot. It was a honeymoon period that promised so much. However, as quickly as the dream began, the landscape shifted, and Bolduc's role began to diminish. The NHL is a league of constant adjustments, and sometimes, even the most promising starts can be derailed by unforeseen circumstances and the emergence of other talents. The first major ripple came with the meteoric rise of rookie Ivan Demidov. Demidov, a player who has absolutely burst onto the scene, quickly established himself as an undeniable force, racking up an astonishing 12 points in just 13 games. His exceptional play made him an indispensable part of the Canadiens' offensive attack, and rightfully so. He was promoted to the primary power play unit, a spot previously occupied by Bolduc. This move, while beneficial for the team, meant Bolduc lost a crucial avenue for offensive production. Adding to Bolduc's woes, Coach St. Louis has shown a clear reluctance to tinker with Montreal's formidable first line, a unit that has been consistently dominant. This means the top line spots are locked down, leaving Bolduc to vie for ice time on the second line. While the second line still boasts significant talent with players like Noah Dobson, Alex Newhook, and Kirby Dach, they often find themselves with limited ice time compared to the first unit, simply due to sheer strength and effectiveness of the top trio. But perhaps the most significant blow to Bolduc's early momentum came in the form of an injury to Kirby Dach. Bolduc had initially found excellent chemistry playing alongside Dach and Brendan Gallagher on the second line, a trio that was starting to click and generate some promising scoring chances. However, Dach's injury early in the season forced a significant reshuffle of the lineup. This unfortunate turn of events saw Bolduc, who was just starting to find his rhythm, relegated to the Canadiens' fourth line. Moving from a top 6 role with power play time to a grinded-out, limited minutes fourth line is a stark change, and it's no surprise that his offensive production suffered as a result. It's incredibly difficult for any player, let alone a young forward, to maintain offensive consistency when their role and line mates are constantly in flux. The magic, it seemed, had temporarily evaporated. Now, with Kirby Dach having made his return to the lineup, there's a glimmer of hope for Bolduc's resurgence. In their most recent outing against the Philadelphia Flyers, the second line, featuring Dach, Bolduc, and Newhook, was reunited. While Bolduc didn't register any points in that particular game, the fact that Dach found the back of the net twice is an incredibly positive sign. Dach's ability to rediscover his scoring touch and overall game bodes well not only for success of that specific line, but, crucially, for Bolduc's own offensive production. When Dach is playing at his best, he's a dynamic playmaker and scorer who can create space and opportunities for his line mates. Bolduc thrives on that kind of offensive environment, and having a healthy, informed Dach alongside him could be the catalyst. He needs to break out of the slump and start impacting the score sheet once again. It's a testament to the team's belief in this combination and a potential turning point for Bolduc's season. Looking at the long-term picture for Zach Bolduc in Montreal, it's a fascinating, albeit somewhat complex, puzzle. The Canadiens boast a deep pool of promising prospects with top six potential, including names like Alexander Zborowski and Michael Hage, who are knocking on the door. This competitive internal landscape means Bolduc will constantly need to perform to secure his spot. However, if we focus specifically on this current season, the expectation is that Bolduc will remain a fixture in the top six. The Canadiens are actively looking to acquire a second-line center in the near future, a move that could significantly solidify their offensive structure. Imagine a second line featuring Demidov, Bolduc, and a newly acquired, established center, that a formidable trio with immense offensive upside. When we consider the current hierarchy, Bolduc should firmly be ahead of players like Alex Newhook and Patrick Laine. Laine, in particular, has struggled to meet expectations in Montreal and is likely to be moved or depart as an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. This opens up a clearer path for Bolduc to establish himself as a consistent top six forward. For the Canadiens faithful, there's no need to panic about Bolduc's recent struggles. His dip in production can largely be attributed to the challenging circumstances he faced, playing on a fourth line with a struggling Dach and Joe Veleno, who was only in the lineup due to Laine's injury. These are not ideal conditions for any offensive player to thrive. Now that he's back in the top six, reunited with a healthy and productive Kirby Dach, we should absolutely expect to see a significant uptick in his offensive output. The Canadiens invested a high price to bring him to Montreal, and that speaks volumes about their confidence in his talent and his future. He is not just a temporary fix. He is viewed as a fundamental, key piece in the future of this team's offense, a player who will be instrumental in their long-term success. His current struggles are merely a bump in the road, a learning experience for a young player finding his way in a new system. The talent is undeniable, and the opportunity is there for him to shine. So, what do you think? Will Zach Bolduc reclaim his early season form and become the consistent offensive threat the Canadiens envisioned? Or will the competition for top six spots prove too challenging? We want to hear your thoughts. That's our deep dive into the curious case of Zach Bolduc. It's a story of high hopes, a dazzling start and a challenging detour, but one that still holds immense promise in the future. We've laid out the facts, the analysis, and the potential paths forward. Now it's your turn to weigh in. What are your predictions for Bolduc's season? Do you believe he'll bounce back strong, or do you have concerns about his long-term fit? Drop your comments below. We love hearing your insights and predictions. And if you enjoyed this detailed breakdown, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our exclusive sports analysis. Your support helps us bring you more in-depth content like this every single week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.